Dr. Onika Williams is a distinguished urologic surgeon at St. Elizabeth's Medical Center, an assistant clinical professor at Tufts Medical School, and is on the board of overseers at the Museum of Science. She serves as a tireless mentor to girls and students, as a dedicated leader in multiple community organizations, including the Jack and Jill Newton chapter. Dr. Williams was recently awarded the honorary degree of Doctorate of Humane Letters from Endicott College in 2018. After completing her Bachelor's of Arts in Biophysics at Johns Hopkins University, her MD and Master in Public Health at Harvard Medical School and the School of Public Health, her surgical training at Mass General Hospital and Leahy Clinic, Dr. Williams has also combined her love of science, medicine, and public health with writing. Makes me wonder if I should have worked harder, Dr. Williams. She is committed to inspiring all children, especially girls and children of color, towards a greater interest in science, a positive attitude, and the pursuit of excellence. This is evident in her work as an author of the Dr. D.D. Dynamo book series of illustrated children's books, which feature a black girl super surgeon. Her books have received awards, and I can speak personally, are well-liked by SSCA children. As Dr. Williams shared with me, her character in her stories isn't just a surgeon, isn't just a superhero, she's both. Because why not? Why not do more than one thing? Dr. Williams is married to Dr. Charles Anderson Jr., a neonatologist, hospital management specialist, and corporate executive, and they have a son, Mark. Lastly, having spent time with Dr. Williams, the sincerity of her faith in Christ is evident, and her love of our God is contagious. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Onika Williams.
Good morning. Wow, I don't know if there's much left to say after those two excellent speeches, so I hope that I'm not redundant, but congratulations on your awards and your very, very insightful comments. Dr. Jennings, it's going to be kind of weird doing this sort of, but Dr. Jennings, Board of Trustees, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, parents, friends, South Shore Christian Academy class of 2018. I am extremely honored, blessed, and excited to be here with you this morning, and I thank you for the opportunity to speak into your lives. I'd like to thank my sister friend, Dr. Kimberly Bowdry, who actually is a parent here and introduced me to this wonderful school and to Dr. Jennings. And I had the opportunity to spend some time with the 3rd through 5th graders and was just amazed at the intellectual curiosity, at their insightful and thoughtful questions, and at their overall just enthusiasm for learning. I didn't have an opportunity to meet with the 12th graders of the graduating class because I think we were coming off of a snow day, but I did have an opportunity to observe some of your work displayed in the halls and was extremely impressed at the talent that you represent. I am convinced that you all will continue to live out the mission of South Shore Christian Academy, which is to do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly as you live lives of faith that bring goodness to the world. I think at this point that we should really give them a really hearty round of applause. I would also like to thank God, from whom all blessings flow. I'd like to thank my family for their continued support. My mom-in-law, Beatrice Anderson, is here with me today, and I thank her for just continuing to uphold me and uplift me. And there is so much that I want to say to you today, and I know that I don't have all day, so I will try to make it succinct and brief. I vividly remember my high school to college transition. I grew up in the Caribbean, and I had never been away from home. My parents were unable to come with me for college drop-off, so my godparents substituted and drove me and my 2 suitcases to Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore. They kissed me goodbye and made a quick exit back to New York. And the buzz of the other students scurrying around like worker bees with their families in tow, moving in trunks and TVs and refrigerators and all manner of things was not lost on me. And for a moment, I felt small, I felt alone, I felt homesick. In that moment, I focused on what I didn't have. Now, let me give you a little bit of background. I attended an all-boys school in Barbados, entering as the first girl in the upper school to take physics. So I had already developed a belief system where if there was a problem, I knew there had to be a solution. So I picked myself up and attached myself to my roommate Mary like their long-lost relative. During that orientation week, I met with a pre-med advisor because I had been made aware that getting into medical school as an international student was going to be a challenge. I wanted to be prepared with all of the resources and advocates that I could muster up at the beginning of my college career. Remember also, I was putting on my game face as I was acclimating to being an ocean away from my family and my home. So as I entered the pre-med advisor's office, I was struck by her elegance and her poise. She had she had a very chic hair bob cut, a well-tailored suit, and I thought to myself, here is a professor who is beautiful, she's sophisticated, she's accomplished. And I literally looked at her in eager anticipation. My arms were literally wide open, ready to receive all of the knowledge, advice, and insight that would equip me for my journey. And she said to me, plan to go back to the Caribbean. You are not going to get into an American medical school. It was as if she had taken a pin and stuck it in my massively inflated balloon of hope. The blood pounded in my head. I could feel that hope rushing out of my soul. What? Deflated, I turned slowly and shuffled out of her office. I was confused. She didn't know me. She made a decision in a blink of an eye based only on what I looked like and where I was from. And sadly, this is a story that is repeated over and over every day. Some of you may encounter this limited mindset of who is valuable, who is powerful, who is capable of doing great things. I was different from the image that she associated with brilliance and success. And so she dismissed the possibility that I could at least try, and to not try is to fail. So she had already set me up for failure, and she made this decision based solely on what she saw, which was that I was different. We live in a current climate where we are taught to fear differences. We identify differences as a basis for disagreement and discord, for disconnection and dissent. We use it as fertile soil for discrimination and division. We view differences as something negative. And when we lead with that perspective, we miss that we are actually more alike than we are different. Even though our comfort dwells in our sameness, it is our differences that add richness, color, and interest and opportunity to our world. She sought to limit me based on my difference. I called my parents immediately. Was I wasting my time in this place where people judge you without even giving you a chance? My parents reminded me of who I was, which was I was that girl who refused to be limited by the outdated belief that girls didn't need to do physics. And they reminded me whose I was, that we are all children of God. He loves us equally and unconditionally. And in him and through him, all things are possible. The tagline for my character, Dr. Didi Dynamo, is not even the sky's the limit, which is a takeoff of Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so they reminded me of that. And I felt the pinhole in that balloon begin to seal as my parents huffed and puffed and re-inflated my hope balloon. Sidebar, whether you're going off to college or entering the work world, make sure that you associate with people who are going to inflate your balloon. So that's how my college career started. And make no mistake, it is a journey. It was the first of many crossroads and choices I faced where I had to make a conscious decision of what I would believe. And I'm reminded of a daily word devotion I read a couple years ago called Intention. It says, I live my life with intention, trusting in divine outcome. When I live my life from a point of intention, I consciously create my experiences. If I expect a joyful encounter, I receive a joyful encounter. If I see my day going smoothly, I create such a day. By setting my intention, I am determining what my life looks like every day. It is as if I have placed an order with the universe, trusting that what I desire will be delivered. And I trust that God knows what is my highest good. I set my intention and I let go of the outcome. I infuse my intentions with love, peace, understanding, knowing, and trusting that God is my source and all is well. So I set the intention that I was going to approach my life from a perspective of positivity and a mindset of no limits. And this has informed my choices. I hope that it would inform yours as well. You see, I have developed these habits that I call the habits of positivity. Now, a habit is a routine of behavior that is repeated regularly and tends to occur subconsciously. So with repetition, the habits can easily become a way of thinking, a mindset, if you will. So today, as you set off on your journey, I want to arm you with the Dr. Didi Dynamo 5 Habits of Positivity, and with a slingshot as well. Be clear that you are meant to have powerful impact, and in ways that only you are uniquely gifted to do. These habits are the ammunition that you are going to need. The first habit is that there is always a solution. Work to find it. You will need to learn to use your resources, be creative, and do not be afraid of hard work. I think you've already developed that here based on what I've heard, but do not let go of that. Continue. The second habit, turn a limit into an opportunity. Allow naysayers to be the fuel that drives and motivates you to prove them wrong. Use the opportunity to become more prepared, more innovative, more persistent, more unrelenting. Little did that pre-med advisor know that she lit the fire under me with her remarks. And the only other time that I went back to see her was when I graduated to let her know that I had gotten into every top medical school that I applied to. The third habit is to keep the positive and to discard the negative. In other words, keep the people and things that are going to inflate your balloon and get rid of the ones who are actively trying to stick a pin in your balloon, or worse yet, suck the air out of it. The fourth habit is to believe that there is a divine purpose in your life that is intimately linked to caring for others. If you don't live out the full life that God calls you to, then someone's destiny is changed. No matter what your circumstances, your station, your education, your family history, your race, your gender, your culture, no one else can do what you were put here to do. And the fifth habit is to be thankful and to believe. What do we hold on to when the going gets tough? There will be those times when you feel as if nothing is going right, when you feel that the demands and the expectations are overwhelming, when you feel sad and all alone. This habit is so important because it changes the context through which you view what's happening to you and allows you to focus on the things for which you are thankful. Gratitude is like a light that diffuses the darkness. And then you must hold on to your faith and to God the way Jacob did. Don't let go. You have to believe that you are never alone. And more importantly, that God has placed an army of angels in your midst to do his work. And this is so critical in the context even of what has happened this week to two of our brilliant minds. Access the resources. Do not be afraid to seek help and to know and believe that you are worthy. Put these habits in your slingshot and launch them onto your family, onto your community, onto your country. And where, might you ask, is the slingshot that I've mentioned today? Where are you going to get that slingshot? You are the slingshot. And let me tell you what I mean. And I want you to listen carefully, because if there's one thing that you take away today, I hope that it is that you know and believe that you are a slingshot. You are a slingshot, a catapult you are, hitting targets near and far. You are powerful, you are meant to be, a force like no other, living intentionally. You have multiple chances to take a shot. This is just the beginning. Don't despair if you miss the dot. Pick up your slingshot and try again. There is no lack, no need for heartache or pain. Training your slingshot is a walk in the park with preparation and hard work so you can aim in the dark. Know your target. Practice over and over. Do not depend on a four-leaf clover. Sometimes you need to go backwards in order to advance. Do not be discouraged. It is not happenstance. You are being prepared for something big. When it happens, you will dance a jig. For power builds in your slingshot bands as you stretch and stretch beyond the sands. Then you are filled with energy stored for a mighty release. You will soar, never bored. Before you release, before the direction reverses, your slingshot will pause. Stillness disperses. Time to take stock of position and aim. It may even seem as if it's a game. Pause too long, your target may shift. Release too quickly, your aim may drift. Activate your slingshot and try again. Keep trying and trying becomes the refrain. If your band overstretches and breaks, some patience is what it takes. Try again and do not worry. You are a slingshot. There is no hurry. If you don't stretch enough and you miss your goal, do not fear, there is no hole. Stretch again and aim high. You are a slingshot you cannot deny. The road to success has ups and downs. Keep loading your slingshot, smiling, no frowns. You are persistent, you never give up. Make the adjustments and never stop. As a slingshot, you are called to be focused, disciplined, impactful for all to see. Your targets may change, your goals may expand. You may have big visions or take a stand. You may wonder, is my slingshot enough? It is. Remember that when the going gets tough. We are all slingshots, a common purpose we share, to make a difference if we dare. The color, material, or origin doesn't matter, you see. We are united in mission. We can all agree. What will you put in your slingshot? What will you release? How will you touch the world and fill it with peace? Load up your slingshot with compassion, understanding, and love. Justice, tolerance, forgiveness, and joy from above. Hope, respect, courage, and grace. Mercy, resilience, faith, generosity, and a smiling face. Sensitivity, gentleness, inclusiveness, positivity, and purpose, to name a few. Load up your skills and talents too. Let it rip from your slingshot. Slay every day anew. The world is holding its breath and waiting for you. Congratulations, class of 2018 South Shore Christian Academy, and God bless you.